what is SDLC models are. Okay, so SDLC models. So what I mean, it means the SDLC models. SDLC is giving you guys some rules that you guys can adopt software development lifecycle in a different ways. Let me come back to our practical example. Like we took the example to go to the job, perform the duties, and come back. But every person has his own style. Okay, some persons are getting up early, getting ready, but they said that okay, I don't need any breakfast. I will go to the office and get some coffee from there. I'll do there. The other person is saying that no, I have to do breakfast at home and then I have to go. Some person prefer to go in his own car. Some persons are taking the public transport. So there are the different ways to go to the job and to come back. Okay, but the end goal is same. Everybody is performing the duties and coming back. Okay. But the ways to perform the duties is different, as I had given to you guys an example. In the same way, if you go to buy a ice cream from the store, so there are different companies prepare the ice cream, but with different flavors, with this different ingredients, right? So in the same way, guys, like SDLC giving you guys the different options, like you guys can adopt the SDLC in the different ways, whichever is preferred for your company, whichever you feel comfortable. Okay. So what are the SDLC models are? So there are different models of SDLC like Waterfall Model, Iterative Model, Spiral Model, V Model, Big Bang Model, Agile Model, Red Model. Different models are available in a market. Prototyping Model. Okay, but if I can share with you my 10 years experience that I had seen, I only seen two models in a practically, and in class here also we have to focus on these two models, because nobody is asking in the interview about the other models. Nobody is adopting practically in our companies some other models. So we have to focus on that models that is practically the companies are adopting. That is Waterfall Model, and the other is Agile Model. So on these two models, we have to focus on that. Today, we will focus on a Waterfall Model, and tomorrow, in tomorrow's class, we will cover the Agile Model. Okay, let me come on a Waterfall Model. Okay, so what is the Waterfall Model principle is saying? So just imagine, guys, like if from the mountain, the water is falling down. If anybody went to the Niagara Falls, the water is falling down in a very sequence. Okay, so in the same way, what the Waterfall Model is saying that according to the Waterfall Model, whole team have to be focused on one stage of SDLC, on one activity, finish that activity, and then start the next activity. For example, what I mean the activity is, in other words, I can say that according to the Waterfall Model approach, first complete the work of one stage, then start on the next stage. When you're done with the next stage, then start the third stage. When you're done with the third stage, then start for the fourth stage. Okay. For example, our first stage is requirement analysis. So what the Waterfall Model is saying that first whole team will focus, developers, tester, every team member will focus on requirement analysis stage. Okay. All the team will put their input whatever they can, okay, and finalize this requirement analysis stage first, then go to the design phase. So this approach is known as Waterfall Model approach. Waterfall Model approach is saying that this is not a right way to start multiple stages at the same time. Okay, so first you have to focus on one stage, then you have to start the next stage. This is known as Waterfall Model approach. Is that clear, guys? What is the Waterfall Model is saying?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, Navi.
Well, as you said in this model, everybody will focus on the first task, but the responsibilities are different. Let's say I'm a tester. So what will be my role in the requirement analysis?
Yes.
Or somebody from maintenance team, what will be his or her inputs in the requirement analysis? So because the tasks are different, so I don't know how roles are different in this model.
This is a good question, and this is an interview question as well. Like there is a different SDLC stages. Is what is the role of tester in each stage. Okay, for example, team, as you said, team is working on a requirement analysis. So what the testers will do there, right?
Yes.
So let me answer this question first, then we will come back to this. So guys, like as a tester, we have to involved in every aspect. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the tester responsibility in each stage. Okay, first stage is the requirement analysis stage. So what is the role of testers are there? Testers have to attend business analyst meetings, requirements analysis meetings. He have to see the requirement from user perspective as well as from testing perspective. Okay, because you guys know that, as I already mentioned, that requirement specific document is a specific document on which, through which the whole project is dependent. Okay, because by using that requirement, you guys have to perform the testing on a application. So as a tester, it's our responsibility to understand each and every requirement very carefully from testing perspective, either it is possible to test or not. What kind of data we need to test this? If there is any questions, we can ask to the business analyst. Okay, for example, business analyst have written the requirement. When user click on enter ID and password and click on login, user able to enter in a system successfully. That is fine. But there is no mention what will happen if user enter wrong ID. What will happen if user wrong password? What the error message have to be displayed on a screen. So tester have to be think from these perspective and ask these questions to the business analyst and ask to provide the answer and to write down in a business requirement document. Okay, so in short, in a requirement gathering phase, business testers have to analyze the requirement from testing perspective and ask the questions or give the input just like a real user or just like a tester, and anything if it is not clear, so we have to request to the business analyst to add into the requirement document. Is that clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
It's clear.
One question, it should be all the test teams or only the test lead?
No, mostly the test team includes.
Okay.
Okay, the other is what is the role of tester in a designing phase? So in a designing phase, Sophia, can you go on mute?
Then the treasure goes right here.
Okay, so in a designing phase, when your front-end developer design one page, as I shown you for Amazon page or all the pages, so what the front-end developer will do, they will do a mock design. Okay, and after preparing the mock design, it will present to the all the team members. So again here, tester have to be see that design from user perspective. Developers are seeing that design for developing perspective, that how they develop the function, but tester have to be see from user perspective, like how the color combinations are, how easy to use some major functionalities of the application, how the application overall looks like. So tester have to give a suggestion according to the design. Okay, like for example, you can say the color of button is not very attractive, please change the color of button to green, for example. These links are is not very visible. This is the major functionality of the application. If we can put on our home page, it will be good. So from user perspective, tester have to give the suggestion that enhance the quality of the application, that make more easy for the user to use that application. Okay, this is the role of the tester in designing phase. Clear up to here?
Yes, it's clear.
Then the third is our coding phase. Okay, so when developers start coding, so there are the different documentation that the testers have to be create. In the tomorrow's class, I will teach you what are the different documentation testers have to be developed before starting actual testing. Like there is a test plan document, there is a test cases document, collect the test data. All these things we have to learn in the tomorrow's class. So when the developers are doing the coding, so what the testers have to do, testers have to prepare all these documents to make sure that So while develop the coding, the testers have to develop all these documentation in this phase. So to make sure that before the actual testing starts, these all the documents be ready. So in a coding phase, testers are preparing their own documentation basically. Clear? And next stage is a testing stage. Now this is, we are king of this stage now. So you all know that in this stage we have to perform the testing, okay, in the whole application according to the documentation that we have prepared. And we will report the bugs to the developers. We will do all these things there. And last thing is a maintenance stage or deployment stage, okay. And the last stage, like our team will deploy this code to the client, or maybe we have to perform some testing on a client side as well, or in a production. So I am using the word production. What is the production mean, guys? So there is a 3 different environments in the company: development environment or dev environment, there is a QA environment, and there is a production environment. Dev environment and QA environment companies are using for their internal use. Anything in those environments are working, these are not open for public. Development environment, developers are used to develop the application. QA environment, testers are using to test the application, okay. So anything happening on the application in these 2 environments, it is not open for public, it is not open for user, okay. So but anything that is deployed to production environment, that is live. All the applications that we are using as a user, Costco.com, Target.com, Gmail, Outlook, Hotmail, whatever application we are using, Walmart.com, and lot of other websites as well, okay. So these are all working in a production environment. Everything that is deployed in a production, basically it is open for public. So therefore I'm using the word, okay, in a production environment or deployed to the production. Anything comes under the production, it is open for public and everybody able to use that, okay. So when anything deployed to the production, so sometimes testers have to do some basic testing to make sure that after deploying to the production environment, everything is working fine and everything is working properly. So these are all the roles these of testers in each of the stage of the SDLC.